Hello guys, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're watching this video from. My name is David, or you can call me El Zanito. And so welcome to my YouTube channel. Anyways, I thought of doing something, just coming up with videos that would help beginners, also professionals that are interested in learning a thing or two in photo manipulations and other aspects of design, as well as other stuff that I am interested in as a person. So yeah, that's why I started this video series. And for this particular one, we're going to be looking at replications. So we're going to be doing a lot of design replications, any design replication whatsoever. We are going to work on it. So this particular video tutorial, we're going to be working on a particular design. We're going to be recreating a particular design, and this is the design here. So this particular design, we are going to create it on Photoshop. It's a very simple design, and we are not just going to replicate it 100%. We are going to add our own our own concept or our own images and stuff. So yeah, just if this is what you've been looking for, you can just like, subscribe, comment, and I'm always here to help out. So yeah, this is what we're going to be creating, and we're going to use Photoshop. So for those that don't use Photoshop, if you use CorelDRAW, let me know in the comments so I can also create a video recreating this also on CorelDRAW. But yeah, this is what we're creating on Photoshop, and what we are going to be downloading is just a singular image. That's the image of a guy or a lady, and my go-to website, like everyone knows, is unsplash.com. So yeah, let's go there. So you just type in unsplash.com, and what we are looking for according to this image is a picture of a portrait of a model. Someone, no matter the model, we just need a portrait. So you can just type in portrait, and immediately you type it in, you will see series of portraits, of models looking directly into the camera. So we just scroll through to look for one that we can use, and and we just pick that particular one. This particular person is putting on a hat, so we're not really limited to that particular image, so we can just pick anyone that we would love to use. So let's just look for one. Now you will notice that this image is in monochrome. It's not colored. We don't necessarily have to pick a black and white image here. We can just convert it to colored on our Photoshop. So yeah, not to waste too much time, I'll just pick one. Let's just pick this particular person. Yeah, download. When you click on this, it just download directly, and you wait for it to load. Yeah, say thanks. So you can just copy. Now if you are going to be posting this image, probably as part of your design, you can just copy the shout out link, so that you can give gratitude to the photographer. So yeah, we are done with that. That's all we need as regards the image, and this is the image here. So the first thing first, we're going to come to our Photoshop, open a new file. So let's just call this what should we call this? Let me say replication 1. So as you can see on this image, it's a portrait, and it looks like almost like an A4, but we'll just use our creative mind to measure it. So yeah, so let's say it's about 2200 by about 2900, and our resolution is always going to be 300 because we want a quality work. And so we're going to change our background color to white, right? Then you create. Now we can see that it's it's similar to the image itself. So let's just start. It's a very simple design. We're not going to spend so much time here, but it's just to launch the series. And so after we're done with this tutorial, when you watch it and you see that, oh, you are really interested in following me through this journey of replication, if you see any image or any design that you would love us to replicate, just probably share me the link on the comments, or just upload it on the comments, and I would go through them and just pick one per series. So yeah, the first thing we want to do is bring in the image. So let's go to our downloads and drag in this image. And before we drag it in, we see that the background of this person is different from the background here, which is because this background here has some things in it. So we want to just remove the guy or the man from the background. And what do? There are different ways to select, but my favorite is just to go to select here and choose subject. So when you choose subjects, the artificial intelligence automatically selects the most emphasized character. You see, it does a pretty neat job. You can zoom in to see, very, very neat. And for those parts that were not properly selected, then you can pick your tool to select it. And also in this replication series, we are not limited to Photoshop. So if you have designs that you would love us to replicate, and you would love us to replicate it in CorelDRAW, you can just note that as well in the comments. So yeah, this looks pretty neat already. Then we come down here to we come up here to select and max. Select and max the radius 1, smooth 1, feather. We can bring down the contrast. We can bring up the contrast so it can be slightly sharp. Then the shift edge, we can bring it down so that it can properly select without picking some part of the background like this. If I bring it up, you'd see that some part of the background is showing. So yeah, I want to leave it here. Then also make sure your decontaminate colors is checked, and new layer with layer max, and you press OK. So we have this image. Then you can take this image and drag it into this page just like this. Now zoom out, select your pick tool, then you can press T. You can press Ctrl T to transform, or you can just come up here and just select show transform controls. Now to proportionally resize, you just hold down your Alt, and you proportionally place it down like that. Yeah, something like this. Yeah, then this makes sense. So double click on your pan tool here, or your hand tool, and it shows you the 100% view. So yeah, this is this character here, and this is this image. You can see that from this character, the background is gray. So we want to come down here and select solid color, and you can choose gray. Sorry for the dog noise. You can choose gray and press OK. Now you will notice that even aside the gray, there is a bit of white going on in the background. So what we want to do is we want to place, this is white, we want to like brush out some white effect around the back side of the man. So to do that, you just create a new layer and just call it white effect. Yeah, so call it white effect. Then you can take your brush tool, select, then ensure your brush tool is like 0% hardness, so it doesn't give this sharp edge and stuff. Then for your size, you can increase the brush, and when you increase, you can then dab at the back, just dab around. Now if I turn it off, you can see the difference. There's a bit of white and gray going on. So yeah, that's it. So yeah, let's continue. Now you will notice that there's a bit of, this part looks kind of, I don't know, it's just not giving the right vibe. It looks like something else is attached to the body. So to do that, we want to just slice out or cut out those gray parts showing on this body. You can see these gray parts. So we're going to cut it out, and when we finish cutting it out, then we blow out the other part. Yeah, I apologize once again for the dog making noise. So let's quickly select those parts. So select your polygonal lasso tool or any tool that you feel very comfortable with. Then just select those parts that you feel are not supposed to be there. Then you press delete to just delete it. Sorry. Ensure your layer is on the layer max, and ensure your black is turned to white. So delete. Then go to the other side, and just select those parts that looks like they're not supposed to be in the design. So delete, then deselect. Now you can see that it's partially better because the previous one has the color grade, the difference in the color is very obvious, and we don't want that. So having done this, you will see that now we have the edges too sharp, and to blur that out, you just pick your blur tool, select your image, and just reduce the size and just blur it out like this. Just blur it out to the other side as well. You can blur it out. Now when you're done with the blurring, to make sure this thing is smoother and not just sharp like this, you come down to your smudge tool. That's when you click down on your blur tool, you see your smudge tool. Then you increase the smudge. What smudge does is it helps you smoothing. It helps you. Sorry, let me just apply this. It helps you smoothing down or it helps you just blend those stuff well with the either the shades with the background or the skin with the other skin tone and all that like that. It blends your work well. So you just use the smudge tool to brush around and stuff like that. Just like this, just like that. We can apply the layer mask. Let's apply the layer mask. So it doesn't just affect it affects every part of it and not just only the mask itself. So yeah, using your smudge tool, you'll be able to blend this well, just like this. Don't overdo it so that the effect doesn't look so obvious. But yeah, just smoosh it out. Or what's the grammar? Yeah. But yeah, just apply the effect, and when you're satisfied, you can leave it. Now you can also use the smoosh. So this is what it does. It just blurs out a particular area while blending it in terms of the value with other side of the face. So yeah. Now if you see any blemish on this face that you would like to remove, you can use your spot filling brush. Just remove any blemish whatsoever. But I'm not going to spend too much time on that because that's not really focus. So yeah, we have this and we have that. Now the next thing is to turn it into a black and white, a monochrome version. Let's rename it to model. Then selecting this layer, just come down to your adjustments option and you see black and white. Select, then clip this effect to the model itself. Then you can come here and add some nice touches to this. You can either increase or decrease the red. You can either increase or decrease the yellow. You can either, depending on how you feel, just play around this. Yeah, just play around this. If you reduce the red, it makes it darker. If you increase it to make it like that, we want to increase it a little bit. Yeah. So now that we are done with that, you can see it's best not to desaturate. It's best not to come down to your model and go to image and select adjustment and desaturate, because the moment you do this, it automatically affects the image. Like you can't change it, you understand, except you probably use Control Z or something. But if you use your adjustment option, you can easily switch off the effect and switch it back on. It makes things very, very easy. So yeah, let's quickly run. The next thing we want to do is, you would see that there's a space, there's a lot of space here, but here it doesn't have enough space, and that's because our model itself is not so like, the width is it doesn't complement the width of the canvas. So but what we'll do is, just like I said, if you are replicating, you always had your own ideas and stuff. So what we'll do is, we'll reduce the model like this size. Then we are going to paint across this side. Just use your white effect to paint across. So it's same as though the man is like, there's a form of light around his body. So yeah, let's create a new layer, call it light glow. So light glow, and ensure you have your white selected. Let's zoom out a little. Now choose your brush tool. Then you can ensure your opacity is 100. Then just paint across here like this. Just paint across like this. And here as well, paint across. Then you can paint at the top as well, so that it doesn't seem as though it's just the shoulder. So yeah, now that you're done with this, if you feel, oh, it's affecting the face too much, we don't want it to affect the face too much, there's a way you can do it. You can either create a mask for the light glow and just change this to black. It was white, change it to black, then take your brush and just reduce the size and just paint away the part that you do not want to see. Or let me just use that. I prefer that. I actually prefer that. But I'll explain the other. Yeah, you can just do it like this, just paint away the parts that you don't want the light to affect. Or you can duplicate your model, that's Ctrl J to duplicate, bring the other one up here, desaturate. You can desaturate this. Then you can like, what you just do is create a mask on this, and delete those parts that you want the white to get attached to. So either ways, but I think the best is to just work with the one I just explained, this one. Just add the layer mask to the light and just paint out the part that the light should not affect. So yeah, just like this. So you can see that it's totally different from what we have here, but yeah, that's just the idea of replication. You don't just replicate for the fun of it. You want to replicate and add your own concept, so that as you're doing that, you're learning. You're putting your own vibe, you're learning and all that. So that's the goal. So the next thing is we want to place this color, this light yellow rectangle just across his face. So yeah, to do that, you just come down to our rectangle. Then you draw out a rectangle. We are not really concerned with the size, but just draw out this rectangle. Now after drawing it out, you'll see that it doesn't have a color itself, but the stroke has the color. So after drawing your rectangle, if you're satisfied with the length and the width, you just come down here. You see this stroke. Select the stroke. Then choose probably increase the stroke size. I think we should work with probably, let's see the stroke. Let's work with 20, 25. 25 is good. Yeah, 25 is good. Then for the inside, you can just turn off your color, just like this. Anyways, this is not the exact color, so let's look for the original color. Let's look for the original color of the stroke. I think yellow. Yeah, yes, yellow. All right, now that we are done, this is it. It's looking like Nat Geo wide vibe. And if you see that, oh, I think the rectangle is going too far, because at this part in this particular design, the rectangle stop just before getting to the tip of the cap, and also stops here at the chin side. I hope that's correct. So yeah, what you want to do is select your transform tool, and instead of holding alt, because if you hold alt, it will transform it proportionally. We don't want to transform proportionally, we only want to transform the top. We want to bring it down, so just hold down shift and bring the top down like this. Yeah, let's stop here. Then for the chin, stop here. Now I want this to go up a little bit. Yeah, so now that we have this, I'm satisfied with this. If you're not, you can always test out other stuff, So the next thing you want to do is write out our text. Now, but before we write out our text, let me show you something. If I zoom into this image, you see that this it seems as though this yellow line, it's not just a yellow line, like it's an overlay. Let me show you what I mean. So with this rectangle, excuse me, if you come to your blending option here and you select overlay, oh, it's not an overlay, it's definitely a normal. Let's try out other things. Yeah, it's definitely a normal. So yeah, we are going to leave it as a normal. The next thing is the text. I do not know what kind of language is this, but we'll just use our language in English. So let's just write something in English, and bring out your, first change this color to this particular color, then bring in your text too, and let's type something. This is the face of, let's see, this is the face of a man who has seen God. Okay. No, that might be who has seen life, because if you say seen God is smoking, so I don't want to cause problem for myself. Anyways, after writing this, I'm using the font I'm using is Bebas, a very good font. I mean, for titles and stuff. So after writing this, come up here, you see your text property. Some people, the way they organize their Photoshop, text properties automatically is placed, just somewhere at the top here. So, but I do not like to have my Photoshop interface choked up, so I like it very, very simple and minimal. Anyway, so when you come up here, let's reduce the leading for my Corel Draw users. You know what leading is, reduce it. All right, then we can increase the size. That's too much. Can increase the leading. All right, so I like this already. Then you can bring it down here. Then you can use your transform tool to transform it just like this. Now you see that we are already having an issue. This is placed on his face, so the yellow is automatically showing, but this other one is not placed on his face. So what we can do is we can just pick the two, just hold the first one, click on the first one, hold down shift, hold the second one, then we can drag it to his face just like this. Yeah, just like this. We should have used a bigger portrait. And what we can then do is this: select the model itself, let's make him bigger, then bring down the edge just like this, because the issue we had then was the fact that there was not enough space. So, but we can make the head bigger and bring down um, the body. So yeah, I think this works well for us. Yeah, it's not perfectly like this because the guy's face is darker, but yeah, we can do that. Now we'll notice that if we turn off this light glow, it looks better. I think it looks better now, even without the light glow. So all we'll do is let's reduce this light glow. Opacity, let's reduce the opacity. Yeah. Then we can increase the light glow itself. Like I mean the size so that it doesn't affect the face. So yeah, it's making sense already. All right, let's and I think I even like the fact that the rectangle captures a side of his eyes because we say our team is saying this is the face of a man who has seen life. So I like the fact that it's capturing just like this image captures a side of the eye. I won't be surprised if that's the same thing that was said there. But yeah, let's move on. Let's move on. Then we have the text here. It seems to be a date. So that's a different color white. Then we bring down your text and you can type in today is what, 22 July 2022. Now we don't want to use the same font. We want to use a more subtext friendly font like Montserrat. So Montserrat will do. We can use Montserrat semi-bold and then ensure it is centralized. Now to centralize it properly, just drag it to you see that midpoint, that purple midpoint. Now it's too large, then you can use your transform and reduce it holding down your alt. Yeah, like this. Then we change the color to white. Yeah, change your color to white. So you know what, let's bring up this model just slightly like this. Let's not mind wherever it is this. Yeah, something like this. Something like this works. All right. So yeah, that's that. Then the next thing is want to put the top text. So just duplicate 2022, this particular text. Just duplicate it, Ctrl J, and drag it up. I think this is black. Yeah, black. Then change the color to black. So change this word to El Zenito presents, and it's a bit faint and smaller, so you can just change it from semi-bold to regular, and you can just make it smaller by using your transform to hold down alt. Yeah, something like this. Then the next thing you want to do is create a new text and type what can we type? Photoshop. Just type Photoshop. Now use a font. You can use let's use Rochester or Rochester. Rochester is a font you can also use. Yeah. Alright, then we centralize this as well. Yeah, but if this is giving you trouble, there's another way to centralize. Let me show you. If let's say your Photoshop is here and you want to centralize it perfectly, just make sure your Photoshop layer is selected. Now hold down Control, then come down to the last layer, which is this layer. Select this, then you look up here, you would see this centralize. Then you click on it. Sorry, just let me do that again. Hold down click on Photoshop, the layer itself, then hold down the last layer. Let's use this layer. Hold down the last layer, ensure that both are selected, then click on this. It automatically brings the Photoshop to the center, and what it does there is this layer itself is taking the frame of the canvas. So what you are doing is you are telling Photoshop that Photoshop text, I want it to be centralized to the center. I want to place it to the center of this frame. So that's just what we did there. Then you can bring it down a little bit using your direction button. Yeah, so we have this, and finally we are going to, you will see that this next side, it's a bit blurry, but yeah, it's not. So what we can do is this: we'll come down here. There are various ways to do it, but the best way I would assume that you do is this: you duplicate your model, just Ctrl J. Now this particular one, you clip it back to the main model. So let's call this model blur, right? So what you do is go to your filter, choose blur, Gaussian blur, and when you are satisfied with the kind of blur that you want, let's say this blur works for me. Yeah, this one, 9.4 pixels. So what you just do is press OK. Then you create a max for this blur. So you come here, you click max, select the blur, choose your brush tool, make sure your opacity is 100. Then you paste across the parts where the blur should not be, which is its main face, and you will stop towards the next side. So yeah, let's do that. Just somewhere like this. All right. So yeah, that's basically it. And this other stuff here, you can add it if you want, and if you don't want, you can leave it just like this. Now the idea is just to help us start this series and help us start replication as it is, and pick designs, test out our skills on it, add our designs, add our concept and stuff. And yeah, when you're done, we are not done. Let me push this up a little. Rectangle and thin left, push it up a little. So when you are done, you want to add your effects, and what you want to do is select the first layer, scroll down, select the last, hold down shift and select the last layer. Let me come again. Select the first layer, scroll down, hold down shift and select the last layer. So what you're just doing, you're selecting all. Then you press Ctrl Shift Alt E. And what you have done is you've merged everything in one single image, which is this. Then you come down to your filter, you choose camera raw filter. Camera raw filter only works if you are using Photoshop 2019 upward. For Photoshop downwards, you might need to probably download the plugin or something. But yeah, then at this point in time, you can just play around the exposure. Let's add a bit of exposure. Let's just reduce it slightly. You can reduce the contrast, increase the highlights, reduce the shadow slightly, add a bit of white, add a bit of black, reduce the texture and increase the contrast. If you increase it too much, it gives you this very sharp creeps, but you don't want that. So just a little bit, just like this. Add a bit of vibrance, and you can play around all that stuff. That's not what we are here to do today. What we are here to do is just to replicate. So now we are done with this. Then you can save your work. Let's save it at always have a folder for everything. My PSD. Let's create a new folder called Replications. Yeah, then you save. Now this is how I save my work. I just come down here, File, Save As, Desktop, choose your JPEG and you save. 1.7 MB. It's fine. And yeah, we're done. You can close your file. Can close this. Let's go to our desktop and we open it up. And yeah, this is it. You see, there is still a lot of stuff to do, but this is a good start. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. And like I said, if you have any concept you want us to work on or to replicate, just send a link on the comment box, or just post it. I'll pick any of it and just work on it for the next series. And also, it's not just about replications for this YouTube channel. A lot of time I'll be dropping tutorials. A lot of time, I'll be freestyling and playing game because I'm a gamer as well. So I would also be live streaming my games and doing a lot of creative and nerdy stuff. So if this resonates with you, you can just give me a like, a comment, and a subscribe. Thank you.